When John is driving around his car, who are you listening to today?
I have come a long way. I'm no longer a bodybuilder. I just want to preface that.
Okay.
Sometimes chapters can close. I'm going to retire this year from wrestling. That chapter's going to close.
Yes.
I listen to nothing.
Really?
I am a huge car guy. So when I get to drive, it's kind of my chance to meditate.
Okay.
I always try to drive something manual with a stick shift. And I always just listen to the car, man.
Really?
Yeah. And that could be like, I had one rare day off, and you had mentioned that there's a rare. Mm-hmm. I think we work in the same dimension.
Yes.
I drove around the state of Florida just for shits and giggles. I did 880 miles. I left my house in Tampa, went to Orlando, went around the thumb, went back up, went back down. And as soon as I pulled in my garage, I'm like, whoa, 880 miles, not too bad.
So you just got in the car one day and was like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. I haven't driven in a while. I haven't taken a trip in a while. Okay. I want to be, and not once did I turn on the radio. I left at 4:30 in the morning. I pulled in my garage at 10:30 at night, stopped for like 3 or 4, I love little coffee shops.
Right.
Stopped for like 3 or 4 coffees on the way.
Did you talk to anybody? Did you turn the phone off?
At the coffee shops, talk to people. In the car, not one phone call, not one text. Phone was in the back seat, power off. And it's like my way to meditate. Right. So what do I listen in the car? Nothing. Boring. Nothing.
There was a big rap battle going on this summer.
Yes.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
And Drake.
Yes.
Who won?
I know nothing about this.
You don't know anything?
All I know is the headlines. I'm the one person, the one breathing human being who did not hear bar one of this beef. I haven't heard any music, any tracks, nothing. So this is all new to me. Who won?
Man,
who won and why?
Man,
you started out, I was like, man, I love this guy. But
just on pure just play Drake. They play it all the time. If there's not going to be a game, a football game, a basketball game, or anything that you go to where the home team is winning, where you're not going to hear They're Not Like Us. Kendrick Lamar. Yes. Kendrick won.
Okay. So
because it's the most, isn't it the most played disc in history already? I think it's the biggest song this summer.
I need to check this out. I've been living under a rock. I need to check this out. Yeah. All right. Kendrick Lamar. Right on.
Who of your current rappers going? You got Kendrick Lamar, you got Drake. I mean, you got these young,
so
Five Babies.
I kind of
Little Big.
I kind of drifted away from hip hop right around Drake, and I think I always thought Drake was extremely talented. Again, I love wordplay. I think his stuff is very well thought out. I think he's very poetic. I like the way he adds music into the songs. Like, I don't have enough depth of field to evaluate anybody current. He was like the last one where it becomes fade to nothingness.
Right. What was that? I mean, you mentioned a situation, John, that your dad, he was very proud of his 5 boys. You guys had done a lot. I'm sure he was proud of you, but he said that when you decided that you were going to move to California, he's like, you're not going to make it. When you had made it, did you call him and say, Dad, I made it?
You know what? No. I'm really working hard, and thank you very much for asking. I'm really working hard on building a great relationship with my dad. He just turned 80 and I love him, and we're starting to dive into those moments. I can't wait to find out the answer to that question because I'm so happy with where we are.
Right.
I think for so long I wanted him to call me and be like, yo, you made it. But I still don't know if he was withholding his attaboy. So I kept going for some reason to maybe get it at the last moment. I don't know. The point is I've been able to work on self and let go of the need for his approval, which has been awesome because now we can just live as men and as peers and talk about our own life. I cannot wait to hear my dad's answer to that question. But I don't ever believe in making it. I don't ever believe someone has made it. I believe you can close chapters in your life, and I believe that there are instances where it's time to move on. But in my perspective, it's like I try never to use the word deserve.
Okay.
I prefer the word earned. Because what the hell do I deserve? I wake up every day. That's fantastic. And I try to earn the right to wake up every day. So I don't know. I think I'm worried that if I ever say to myself, I've made it, I will become complacent in life. And I don't mean not make a paycheck.
Right.
I mean not be curious about life. I Man, even coming into this place, I'm like, wow, this place is so great. And I'm curious about the wallpaper and the fire and what this podcast is going to be. I don't ever want to lose that. You know,
When you
this is great.
when you left home and you said, okay, you and your dad have the relationship, you're not trying to recapture what was lost. You're just trying to move on from this point and move forward.
Man, that's a crazy thing about time. You can't fix what was happened. Yeah. And I think when you can get to a point to be like, in let's say in forgiving my dad, first I got to forgive myself.
Yes.
And I got to be okay with myself. And I think when you get to that point, then you're like, oh man, you more than likely, although through my eyes, it looked like this was bad for me, more than likely, I know you, I've known you for 47 years. You more than likely were trying to do the best you could as a parent. I can't fault you for that, bud. So what do we do now? Let's have a drink. Let's have a cigar. And hey, what was your college life like? What's the craziest thing you've ever done? What's the worst thing I've ever done to you? Stuff like that's going on now.
Most of the time, John, people parent as if they were parented. And so maybe that's how his dad gave him your grandfather gave your dad tough love. But you said something very interesting. My grandma used to always tell me all the time, she'd say, son, there can never be freedom without forgiveness.
I'm a strong advocate of that, and that's the first time I've heard it. I think once you get to the ability where you can genuinely forgive, that doesn't mean you need to forget.
No.
When you can forgive, you literally free yourself of whatever the burden is that's on your shoulders. That's very profound. I'm a believer.
Forgiveness is not for the person that you feel, and I don't know if you feel this, and I'm just saying for context here. Forgiveness is not for the person that you feel that have wronged you. Forgiveness is for you.
Yes.
Because you're the one, your feelings, your emotions are being held hostage. They're living their life. They might not even know that you're wrong.
Might not even know. Like, I can't wait to have this conversation with my dad. Do you know that I've been looking for a good job for like 30 years? I never knew, dude. It's one of those things where because we are at times uncomfortable about talking about our feelings, we don't talk about this stuff. So how can someone know? You know, they're probably just trying to do the best they can.
You were a rapper. You sold 140,000 copies your first week. You debuted at number 15 on the Billboard 200, but that album has gone platinum, 1.3 million copies to this day. Did you think,
Dude, come on,
did you think that was possible?
There's nothing about the current state of being.
Yeah, you don't strike me as Eminem.
No. But this is what I will say.
Okay.
Super passionate about hip hop. Hip hop, that was why I was bullied to as a callback to the story, because in white small town West Newbury, you wore jeans, shit kicking boots, you drove a pickup truck, and you listened to country music or rock music.
Okay.
I had a high top fade. I wore rayon polka dots, wingtips, or Adidas. I had airbrush overalls. I wore that shit backwards. Like, rap music found me, and it was rap then, it wasn't hip hop, and it evolved to hip hop, but rap music found me because it was rebellious.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before two something.